Well, we're wrapping things up. Cybersecurity, we're going to prep for the ISU on Thursday, 12:30, and that'll be in MH216 again. It's Wednesday, finishing up week 15, only 2 class sessions left. NET-134 IT Essentials. We looked at some security items from SANS. We did some question reviews, and then the students took the final wrapped around chapters 1 through 9. Okay, and overall did a pretty good job overall. Security labs, and they didn't work too much on the machines. I covered some security topics. We'll cover those next Monday all day. Well, most of the day will be IT professional plus some skills-based assessment work. So today I reviewed some things and talked about some assets. Now, most of the time we're thinking about data, but it could be any assets in a business corporation. What kind of threats are there? And is there an agent that can carry out the threat? Well, we're all susceptible to all the different kinds of malware. We didn't go over them all. They're in the curriculum. You know, we have, if you were to think about some of that, ransomware, viruses, worms, Trojan horses, adware, spyware. It's just, you know, all those pieces of software that's malicious that can get into your computer or your device. And we could talk about a networking device or any type of computing device. Internet of Things, being an example. Next, we talk about threats to a network. We could have man in the middle. Okay, we could have somebody changing data. We could have a denial of service, whether that's ransomware or just a denial of service attack. We can have a distributed denial of service where they hack into other computers and create a bot network in which they can attack a service, and you don't even have to hack in. You can attack from the outside. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about trying to stop those things, like with firewalls, or detecting them with intrusion detection systems or intrusion prevention systems. There's physical issues that always can be a threat too. And they talk about those in the curriculum, protecting equipment where it is locked up, so forth. So we have a threat, and then how vulnerable are we to the threat? Is there a chance social engineering could take place? You know, how well are the people trained? You know, this somebody actually allowing somebody in. I mean, that's tricking somebody to give a password or so forth to get in, and then when they're in, then they're going to escalate their privileges by watching what people are doing and so forth. How devices are configured. You know, are you updating your software? Is your virus software up to date? Or when you configured your device, did you do it appropriately? Especially when it comes to servers or networking equipment or firewalls and all these things that have to be configured to do what they're supposed to do. We could go on and on. Obviously, we have entire courses about these type of things. And then the vulnerability leads us to think about how much risk can we prevent the issues from happening, at least try to mitigate as much as we can. We could just accept the risk and hope it doesn't happen. You know, maybe the risk is so low that it's worth just accepting it. Probably not in nowadays scenarios, but it could be, depending on your business and what you're doing and so forth. Can we remove the responsibility, more or less move the risk to somebody else? In some cases, I can give an example here, one I didn't give in class, we could send that risk to the cloud Yeah, move the risk and let a cloud provider take care of that risk. Okay? We can get insurance. Though I don't support it or promote the idea to stop ransomware. Some people are getting insurance. They can't stop the ransomware, but at least they have money to help pay it so they can get their data back. It's kind of like a denial of service attack, kind of. Okay? So there's different things you can do to remove your risk. You know, if you're concerned about not being able to secure it or manage it, you can try to remove that risk by either insurance or moving the service. Of course, I just read third-party services are some now that are the most vulnerable in business. Okay, there's no way to win. Control access, right? You can authenticate people by something they own, something they know, or something they are. You know, a thumbprint, a handprint, facial recognition, you know, a biometric, something they are, something they own, a fob, a debit card, credit card, and something they know, a PIN, a password, an ID, or something like that. Access, once you allow them in, what can they do? You know, put them, so to speak, in a box, what they can do. And then the third thing is you keep track. You do accounting or auditing. You keep track of what they do. The idea of hardening, both software and hardware, first thing to think of is updates. They're probably the easiest thing. And also, hardening has a lot to do with how you configure a device. You know, closing down some ports, not allowing certain access, like Telnet. Don't allow Telnet to a device if you're concerned about somebody hacking in through Telnet or seeing the conversation as it's being said, and so forth. Last thing here, we have firewalls. The concept, you can have a firewall, okay, and then the outside material, things coming in from the outside are blocked, and they're only let back in is when something of value comes from the inside and goes out. Then we let that back in. And then there's all kinds of stuff. But that's the basic function of a firewall. Now, even though you have a firewall on the edge, that doesn't mean it's going to totally protect you. So we have intrusion detection systems. We look at internally, we can look at either signatures like virus software or heuristics, you know, what the data looks like that's moving through your network. And if there's something unusual, we can then identify network administrator or something. Or intrusion prevention systems, they're like detection systems, except they can be set up to block or drop communications or actually take some action, a preventive system. Again, either looking at some signatures or heuristics, and anomaly, something different is in the network, and then deciding what to do with it. We have this skills exam we're not going to do, but you can look at it. Okay, that one's where we disassemble the computer and then assemble it and then make sure it's working. Okay, mostly short on time. We're not going to do that one. Okay, we're going to do this one, or at least as much of it as we can get done, and we'll talk a little more about that. Everybody will have their own PC. Hopefully I'll get that set up today, and then you will use that PC, and the instructions in here, there's a PDF, or the same instructions are in a Microsoft Word document. And you'll go through and you'll do those steps. There's a couple places for me to sign off, but you can just keep going right by that. We should have the PCs ready by tomorrow. Hopefully, have them ready by tomorrow. So if you want to start that process, let me know, and then I will assign you a PC. We're not going to assign him until... So if you ask early, you can pick which one you want to use out of the ones and where we installed Windows 10. Yeah, there's a little bit of Linux to do in here, so you'll have to use your Linux account and so forth. We'll go over that on Monday after we finish up the IT professional section. We'll finish that up. Actually, we'll go through that. I'll have some demos and different things we can do. And once we wrap that up, then we'll have time to start this. And then we take the final on Wednesday, and we finish up this work. Alright, by Wednesday night. So you will be able to work on it from class time Monday all the way through to Wednesday night. So that is it.